Hey friends, this is Jennifer Terri and welcome to my channel. So, what's been going on in the Philippines? What are the travel updates? What's going on? So, first we'll address the OFW situation. I know that most of you are non-OFWs. There are very few who are OFWs. Hi OFWs. It's important that we know what's going on with the OFWs because their problems are also our problems. So they've had their issues with delayed swab results. Last night, the president in his meeting with his cabinet members ordered to expedite the release of the swab results of OFWs, as he said that it has come to his attention that the swab results of OFWs is 3 days delayed and whatever is causing the delay must be addressed immediately. As a response, Defense Secretary Lorenzana, who was present in the meeting, said that the delays have been caused by the massive infections within the Philippine Red Cross. So the Philippine Red Cross is the one that is doing the swab test of OFWs. So at the time when the Philippine Red Cross had massive infections, and they had to stop. So government hospitals had to take over. They conducted the swab test. Lorenzana said that he thinks that it's already been back to normal now and the process has been stabilized. I hope that's true because I still see complaints from people in different pages. Where is my result? Please follow up on my result. So I hope he is telling the truth now. I hope he's right. But on that same day, the Philippine Red Cross chairman lamented that the testing and quarantine protocols is a burden not only to the government but for the people as well. He noted that the psychological pressure for OFWs and even non-OFWs who have urgent family matters at home as well as the financial burden that returning non-OFWs have to shoulder. That's right. Finally, someone from the government has spoken. The Philippine Red Cross head Dr. Ubial, on the other hand, noted that compared to just operating a mega swabbing facility, the current system where members of the Philippine Coast Guard travel to 108 quarantine hotels every day to collect one specimen or two before submitting all the samples to laboratories for processing, she branded it as a operational nightmare. So thank you to Philippine Red Cross Chairman Senator Gordon for speaking for non-OFWs and OFWs and the struggles they have to encounter because of this prolonged quarantine hotel. It's not just hard for us na umuwi, but it's also hard for the government. Meanwhile, the OWA coordinator sounded an early warning signal because their 2021 budget of 6.2 billion pesos could be depleted by April or May. Next month or for the next 2 months, they'll have no money if this prolonged quarantine hotel continues. Given the situation right now, Gordon noted that issues like this has to be ironed out as soon as possible. Everyone involved in the IATF should meet so that they could see the problems of the Coast Guard, of the airports, of the hotels, of the technologists, and healthcare workers. Yeah, IATF members should be on the front line and see what is actually going on the ground. They can see for themselves. I think this IATF is so out of touch with reality to think that they are the one making the policy, no? And this is why 2 senators today pushed for the overhaul of the country's coronavirus task force, the IATF and the NTF. Senator Hontiveros said it must be led by public health experts, epidemiologists, private sectors, not by military officers. At dahil nga sa problema sa IATF at ang tumataas na cases ng coronavirus sa Pinas, may mga senador na sumusulong na baguhin na ang IATF. I-expand ang members. Instead na military officers, dapat is yung mga public health expert, epidemiologist, at mga doktor. Kasi sila naman talaga ang experts sa ganitong problema, di ba? Hindi naman tayo. We're not facing a military war, but a public health emergency. With the NCR Plus travel bubble, the government's goal is to reduce the COVID-19 cases by 25% over these 2 weeks. However, Octa research said that it is unlikely that the COVID-19 cases will reduce by just over 2 weeks because the reproduction number in NCR is about 2.1, and if we want to reduce the number of cases, that means we have to reduce the production number all the way from 2 to 1. And this cannot happen in just 2 weeks, unfortunately. Okta researchers said that the best case scenario would be that the trends in COVID-19 cases may change in 4 weeks. On the other hand, very different topic. Officials of Aklan province are hopeful that foreign tourists will be allowed back on Boracay Island within the year as the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines continues in the Philippines. Aklan Governor Florencio Miraflores said that the island's Korean market is already preparing for the reopening of the island to foreign tourists. They are already negotiating with hotels in Boracay for their eventual return, but this is still subject to the approval of the national authorities. He said that local government was also working with the Department of Tourism for the setting up of a possible travel bubble compromising Boracay, South Korea, and China. It's sad that we are so behind from our neighboring countries. Look at Thailand. Of all the Southeast Asian major destinations, the Philippines appears to be the worst hit by the pandemic, and we are the most reliant on tourism among our Southeast Asian neighbors. But it is still unclear when visa restrictions for foreign tourists will be lifted. Outbound travel is allowed, however, that is mainly because of the contribution of the overseas Filipino workers, overseas Filipinos to the economy. But the tourism and business industry recognizes that the vaccines are the only hope, and only a massive vaccination program will bring shoppers back to the malls, tourists into the country, and revive the ailing economy. But a stalled vaccine rollout simply means more months of weak sales, further job losses, and a higher likelihood of businesses permanently closing down. Look at Marco Polo Hotel in Davao and Makati Shangri-La. And with the delay of COVID vaccines set against the backdrop of surging infections per day, businesses are just as anxious as customers to get their hands on COVID-19 jabs. And this is why private companies have already announced that their willingness to procure vaccines. Malacanang on Monday announced that all private companies are allowed to purchase COVID-19 vaccines, provided that they enter into an agreement with the national government and the manufacturers, since COVID-19 vaccines are not commercially available in the market yet. So that is still going on for now. However, the president had a statement last night that the government could not assume liability for all COVID-19 vaccines purchased by the private sector, referring it as illegal. His spokesperson clarified the next day after that the government won't pay indemnity if private sector had willful neglect and gross negligence. So that's what's happening, guys. Travel restriction is still there, the travel cap is still there, the arrival protocols is still the same. It's all just talks for now. So that is what's going on, guys. I'll see you again with another travel update. If there's anything you want me to make a video of, I will make it. With regards to unmarried binational couples, I promise that I will make a video about countries that are open for tourism. The thing is, with the situation right now, it's hard to make a video like that, because there is a limited travel cap, and there are many Filipinos who wants to go home but they cannot because their flights have been cancelled because of the travel cap. So I think it's not a good climate to make a video encouraging Filipinos to go outside the country for tourism. So I apologize for that. Alright, so I'll see you again with another travel video, friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I know most of you are not, but I'll see you again with another travel update.